Hello everyone. Welcome to this video. And in this video, basically, we are going to do a quick orientation with regards to human physiology. And taking you through this orientation, it's me, the physio tutor. And specifically, this orientation, as far as human physiology is concerned, has to do um, with the University of Zambia curriculum for all the four programs that are being offered under the School of Health Sciences. And these programs include pharmacy, of which the course code is PMY. The course code is PMY 2030, and physiotherapy, the course code which is 2020, and we have radiography, which is represented by 2120, and we also have biomedical science, which is 2120 as well. So now, what is human physiology all about? You might be wondering what exactly human physiology is all about. So basically, human physiology focuses on the study of functions and mechanisms in the human body. When you compare it to human anatomy, you discover that human anatomy only has to do with the study of body parts and how those body parts or organs are basically related to each other. But now, when it comes to physiology, it has to do with it involves or it examines how organs, tissues, basically, as well as cells work together to sustain human life, to maintain homeostasis, and basically respond to internal and external stimulus. Okay, so human physiology examines or investigates how these organs, how the tissues, and how the cells carry out all their processes. For instance, if we say that as a human being you are moving, so physiology will come in and try um, to find out how the things um, are happening. What are the tissues? What are the cells? Um, what are the organs that are involved in you coming up or in you moving up and down and the like. So, for example, if you're talking about movement, physiology will study how muscles basically work together in order to produce coordinated and efficient movements. So now, one of some of the key areas of this course basically include um, cellular physiology, which just focuses on cells alone. And then once you are done with cellular physiology, you proceed to look at what we can categorize um, what we can categorize as systemic study or examination, which involves now you begin to study the systems in the human body in detail. For example, you do the cardiovascular system, you do the respiratory system, you study the nervous system, you study also the digestive system, and also just other processes, other physiological processes, which can include hormone regulations, among others. Now, um, what are the components of this particular course? What are the components of human physiology? So this course basically comprises of uh, two aspects. So there is the theory part. So this theory part basically involves just you writing assessments, learning in class, where a lecturer is just lecturing and you are learning the theory part without doing anything. and then it also comprises of the practical part. So the practical part is normally referred to as the labs, okay, or laboratory experiments. Okay, so what happens here is what you were learning in theory, you now go and do those concepts or carry out those concepts um, in practical. Okay, so for instance, let's say um, there is a topic that has to do with transport mechanisms on how materials basically move in between cells. Okay, so you find that let's say water enters into a cell, and that cell basically swells up. I'm pretty sure you did such an experiment when you were in high school in biology. So you find that when a cell swells up, what basically happens. So you learn that in theory, and you have to go and do it in the practicals, which are normally referred to as labs. Okay, so these labs are not just where you just go and just do the practical and then you leave just like that. Okay, so these labs, once you do a practical session, once you have the lab session, you will be required to come up with a lab report on how you carried out this experiment and what basically were your outcomes among other things. Okay, so these are the things or are the components which make up human physiology as far as this course or curriculum is concerned. Now, let's talk about the continuous assessments. Let's talk about the continuous assessment. So, the continuous assessments, basically, these are the ones we can call tests. So, these they account for 40%, okay, 40% out of 100, and the pass mark for human physiology is 50%. So, what this basically means is that if you get a 49 or a 48, basically you've failed this particular course. Okay, and so when it comes to the tests or the continuous assessment tests, you will be given two or three. Okay, you'll be given two or three assessments depending with with the lecturer or with uh, the management of the department, that is human physiology. Okay, or also depending on the performance of the students. So you can be given two or three assessments before the final exam. Okay, and then you must understand that these particular assessments, all of them are equally important. So if you write test one, basically you have to do your level best. There is nothing like, okay, I have to wait for test two, or maybe I will do best in test one and then test two, I'll relax. No, all of them. And if at all you are given test three, there is nothing like test three doesn't count. You have to take all the assessments um, and give them the serious attention that they all deserve or require. Now, when it comes to the final exam, okay, so the final exam basically um, is composed of it is made of 60%. And by the way, on the continuous assessments here, you'll find that in order for us to have this 40%, your test results, your lab report results, and your quizzes will all be added together. Okay, so what happens is that when you write the lab reports, okay, when you write the lab reports, basically those lab reports will be submitted and they will be marked. Okay, so they will be marked. Also, you'll be given random quizzes. Okay, you'll be given random quizzes by your lecturer, of which these quizzes will be recorded and added to your continuous assessment percentage. So now, the way these components are distributed towards the 40% of the continuous assessments basically varies from one academic year to another, depending on what the Department of Human Physiology basically decides. Okay, so you'll find that out of 40%, basically they might say that okay, the tests will carry 20%, and then the other 20% will be shared between the labs and the quizzes. Or it can be that okay, the labs are given 5% and the quizzes are given 15%, or quizzes are given 5 and the labs are given 5 and the tests are given 30%. So the the way they share these percentages differs from one academic year to another. Okay, so back to the final exam. So when it comes to the final exam is made up, it accounts for 60% out of the 100% because the 40 has already been allocated to your continuous assessments. So the final exam basically will comprise of all the topics that you will cover. Okay, it will comprise of all the topics that you will cover, and you must take note that physiology is a bit bulky, and in as much as it is bulky, it is a very, very interesting course. Okay, it's a very, very interesting course of which you will just end up loving it and enjoying it to the fullest. Now, as Get Ahead Institute, how do we basically come in and make your work or make your journey through this course easy? Okay, so you'll find that as Get Ahead Institute, we tend to offer online tuitions or online extra lessons. Okay, and we don't just offer these online tuitions and then leave you like that, but the classes that we normally have as online, they are normally recorded. Okay, so as Get Ahead Institute, we record all our classes, and when we record all these classes, you can be assured that if at all you missed a concept and you want to revisit what our experienced tutors were talking about, you basically just go and rewatch um, the recorded class, and basically you end up catching up. Okay, so apart from that, as Get Ahead Institute, we tend to give weekly quizzes to all our students in order for them to familiarize themselves with the content and with how assessments are given in this very course. And not just that, Get Ahead Institute tends to offer intensive guidance and mentorship. So this guidance and mentorship is from our experienced um, and able tutors of this particular course. So this guidance and mentorship um, is in two ways. So there is the guidance and mentorship that is given individually in order to suit the needs of each and every person or each and every individual, and there is a guidance and mentorship that is given overall to all our students at once. Okay, because we believe in turning potential of everyone into success, so we consider both at people at individual level and at group level. So basically, if you want more information or you want to register with Get Ahead Institute for extra lessons or for tuitions, please you can feel free to WhatsApp or call us on 0955 396797, or you can call and or WhatsApp us also on 0762182144. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.